Chris and I are the fatty and skinny of the 90s.
Hello, Chris.
Oh, David.
So you have to pretend to be friends one more time?
Rob's one of these guys that's cursed with being good looking. It's a real curse. I have not had that curse.
Welcome to another show of Don't Make Me Watch That. I'm your host, Kevin Gibbon. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, ring the little bell to stay informed of my next video coming out. Also, let me know what you think of this show in the comments section below. This week on Don't Make Me Watch That, I want to talk about the films of Chris Farley and David Spade. They started off with a bang and a hit movie called Tommy Boy. And although the critics gave it mixed reviews, it made money. Then they did Black Sheep, which was put together rather hastily and garnered worse reviews, but made about the same amount of money as Tommy Boy. And it seemed like the pair were on their way to becoming another classic comic duo in the vein of Laurel and Hardy or Abbott and Costello. That is, until the untimely death of Farley in December of 1997. Today, we'll examine both films in their illustrious career. First, Tommy Boy came out in 1995.
Housekeeping, you want men for pillow?
Please go away. Let me sleep for the love of God.
An American adventure comedy film directed by Peter Segal. Written by Bonnie and Terry Turner, produced by Lorne Michaels, and starring former Saturday Night Live castmates and close friends Chris Farley and David Spade.
And I go, if this is Fat Guy in a Little Coat, it's not funny anymore. I don't like it. No, it's not. I'm working on new stuff. And I go... And I turn around, he had my little Levi jacket on.
Bad guy in a little coat.
Take it off, I'm serious.
Richard, what's happening?
This was the first of many movies that Peter Segal has filmed with former SNL castmates. The film was shot primarily in Toronto and Los Angeles under the working title Rocky Road. It tells the story of a socially and emotionally immature man, Farley, who learns lessons about friendship and self-worth following the sudden death of his industrialist father. Tommy Boy was a financial success that grossed $32.7 million on a budget of $20 million. The film received mixed reviews from critics. Since its release, Tommy Boy has become a cult classic and been successful on home video. Tommy Callahan Jr. is a slow-witted, clumsy guy who recently graduated college after attending for 7 years. His father, Big Tom Callahan, owns an auto parts factory in Ohio. When Tommy arrives back home, he finds he has a position at the factory waiting for him. His dad also introduces Tommy to his brand new pad division of the factory and to Tommy's soon-to-be stepmom, Beverly, played by Bo Derek, and her son Paul, played by Rob Lowe. But when Big Tom dies, the factory threatens to go under unless the new brake pads are to be sold. Therefore, Tommy must go on the road to sell them along with the assistance of Richard, Big Tom's right-hand man. Will Tommy save the company, or will the factory and the town go under?
He told two writers they'd write a movie about these guys, the way they act around the office. Like, Spade's like the fake smart one, and Farley walks behind him and asks him questions, and then I make fun of him. But I was always, like, in awe that he was so good and almost didn't know it. So even in movies like Tommy Boy, I'm remembering bits and pieces he would say over the weeks and just go, this actually one line we got to work in because you said it 2 weeks ago.
Their first film is by far the better of the two. The actors were having fun and it showed. Bo Derek played the sleazy Beverly and Rob Lowe, her young boyfriend, who pretended to be her son in order to get their hands on the Callahan fortune. Inspired casting had Brian Dennehy play Tom Callahan Sr., who was the perfect father for Farley's Tommy Boy.
So, how do we look?
Chubby?
The chemistry between Farley and Spade was perfect, and the two played well off of each other. Some interesting notes about the film. On the list showing the exam grades of the students at the beginning of the movie, look at the bottom. One of the names is Helen Keller, who scored an F. Also look to the right of Helen Keller. You'll see Michael Jackson. He got a D+. All wasn't so hunky-dory between the two, though. According to David Spade, he and Chris Farley got into a physical altercation on the set. Spade had gone out for a drink with Rob Lowe the night before. Farley had become very jealous and angrily repeated, "How's Rob Lowe?"
And then he comes over and crunches my hand and the tuna sandwich with his foot. Crunch with his big fat boots. And then I got up and threw my Diet Coke on him. It was straight out of, like, Atlanta Housewives.
David got so fed up with Chris hounding him on the subject that he threw his Diet Coke at him, which Farley responded by throwing David into a wall and down the stairs. According to David Spade, both he and Chris Farley ended up dating Lori Begley, who played the naked woman at the pool. According to Spade, This caused some tension between them during the filming of Black Sheep. This film is included on the film critic Roger Ebert's most hated list. Although I enjoyed Tommy Boy quite a bit, I thought Spade and Farley had good chemistry together, and the fact that they were friends off screen helped that chemistry. The only thing I didn't really buy was the relationship between Farley and Julie Warner.
Guys, now look. Say something to the bride and groom.
Hey, Dad and Beverly. This is Michelle Brock, the prettiest gal in Sandusky. Michelle, say a little something into the camera.
A little something into the camera.
I didn't get the sense that they were in love, but that it just kind of happened because the script called for it. Their relationship didn't really have time to develop, and it was just kind of thrown together.
You better go out there and see our movie Tommy Boy instead of going out back in the alleyway smoking doobies!
And now let's go to Black Sheep, a 1996 American comedy film directed by Penelope Spheris, written by Fred Wolf and starring Chris Farley and David Spade.
I can't say that word.
Roads.
Rowwood.
The film follows a political aide who is assigned to control the brother of a candidate for governor of Washington, who attempts to offer the campaign unwanted and publicly embarrassing help. The film also stars Tim Matheson, Christine Ebersol, and Gary Busey. Chris Owen and Wolf have cameo appearances, and Farley's real-life brothers Kevin and John appear as security guards at an MTV Rock the Vote concert. Mike Donnelly is a good-natured but loud and bumbling oddball of his family. He's driving an advertisement truck to support his brother Al Donnelly's campaign for governor of Washington. His competition is incumbent Evelyn Trace. Mike is chased by dogs while driving and crashes into a local movie theater. Al's campaign manager, Roger Covery, advises Al to get rid of Mike, but Al decides to have Mike campaign for him in town with the assistance of campaign aide Steve Dodds, who accepts the job in return for a spot on Al's staff following the election. As Steve goes to pick up Mike, he hits praised Vietnam veteran Sergeant Drake Savage, who ends up stealing his rental car. Saturday Night Live creator Lorne Michaels produced the film, which was directed by Wayne's World helmer Penelope Spheris. Michaels later said that the film was an act of desperation by Paramount in that the movie studio had under-promoted Spade in Farley's 1995 film Tommy Boy, and now looking to profit from the same comedy formula. Michaels had contentious battles with the studio over the script of 1993's Wayne's World 2, and the animosity between the two camps spilled over into Farley's contract with Paramount.
People are spending their good money to see it, and that makes you feel bad because they're wasting their time. This is not only one of the worst comedies I've ever seen, but one of the least ambitious.
Although his agent lined up possible roles for the actor in The Cable Guy, for which he was offered $3 million, and Kingpin, the movie studio remained firm on wanting another body comedy with Farley and Spade. Having performed an uncredited rewrite of Tommy Boy, Fred Wolf wrote the script for Black Sheep. Wolf said the studio told him to deliver a finished script by midnight on Sunday, the last day Chris was contractually allowed to get out of the movie if I didn't have a finished script.
I have a confession to make. This is the first movie that I have ever walked out on in a theater in 26 years.
They were going to sue me. Wolf wrote 45 pages within a few days and dropped the script off at Paramount 15 minutes before his deadline. After reading the script, Farley said that he wasn't crazy about it and only agreed to do the film after coaxing from David Spade. Spheris had notable disagreements with writer Fred Wolf and David Spade throughout the entire production of the film. Spheris fired Wolf from the film 3 times. He was hired back twice by Farley and once by Lorne Michaels, then refused to speak to him and finally banned him from the set. Her relationship with Spade was equally as tumultuous. Speaking to Farley's official biographer, she said, "I don't think I've ever even smiled at anything David Spade's ever done. I still have a recording of a message David left on my answering machine. He said, 'You spent this whole movie trying to cut my comedic balls off.'" The two worked together again on the 1998 comedy Senseless, even though they didn't get along. The combination of bright lights on set and working under sunlight while filming Black Sheep caused permanent damage to David Spade's eyes. Spade said of the condition, "I have to wear a hat, even indoors, and flashes in particular freak me out. I have to make them turn down the lights in the makeup trailers. I've become such a pain in the butt with the light-sensitive thing. It's a wonder they don't just shoot me." Tongue-in-cheek. This production has a few funny moments, but it doesn't live up to the superior Tommy Boy. However, I did like it better than Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert. For me, it's I want to watch Tommy Boy, but don't make me watch Black Sheep. If you love comics and pop culture as much as I do, you'll subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to stay informed of upcoming videos. Please share this video, as that will help me gain subscribers as well. I also want to remind you to check out my columns and reviews on two sites, Comics for Sinners and Comic Crusaders. I also have my own franchises, Adolescent Radioactive Samurai Platypi and Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter. The latter has been picked up by Cutthroat Comics. Check the links below for more details and the link to Dracula Rising, which is available on Amazon. Here's some great artwork from Raphael Lanohaus from the origin story Foul Blood. Once again, available on Cutthroat Comics. See the links below. I also have a book which is a collection of my reviews and columns called Comics, Pop Culture, and Politics. You can also find t-shirts and posters on Teespring. Again, check the links below for all Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter merchandise.